birds of a feather flock together. If you run around with losers, you will end up a loser. It's necessary that you get the losers out of your life if you want to live your dream.
Brother J, Qiyam Unlimited. How y'all doing today? I want to come today with a little information for you, Qiyam Unlimited. This is called Don't Listen Part 2. Don't Listen Part 2. In Don't Listen Part 1, I talked about listening to people who are naysayers, people who won't understand your dream, people who would tell you that you're making a bad mistake when you're talking about leaving a job and open a business, people who would tell you that you can't do what you can do, or you need to go through this, you don't have a college degree, you have this problem, you have ADHD, you have all these people out here. I tell you, don't listen to them. But this is Don't Listen Part 2. Part 2 is sometimes we can't listen to that voice within ourselves, that negative voice, that voice of fear that says, if I do this, I can't do this, I won't be able to pay my bills. I can't do this, I'm not smart enough. What if I fail? What if this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? I don't know if I'm smart enough. That voice of self-doubt, don't listen to that. That negative inner dialogue, that negative part that talks to you, don't listen to that. And not only don't listen to that, you got to be careful who you're around, because the people you're around can feed that. People who are around you can do either one or two things. Either they can feed the positive voice in you, or they can feed the negative voice in you. Put people around you that says, yes, you can. This is how you can help. I believe in you, brother. Where are you at with your goals? People that's going to hold you accountable. How are you with what you said you was doing? What is your plan to get there? How are you going to fulfill your goals? How far are we with this, brother, if this is what you're going to do? How far are we with this, sister? That's who you listen to, and that's the voice you feed. Read books. Look up information. Study what you need to know about your field and master that. Practice your skill. Hone it over and over and over again. Go with it with all your heart and your soul. Because you got to understand this. If you're on a job for 8 hours of your life, you're giving a lot of energy to this job. When you leave, you're giving more hours. You're tired now. Getting off of the job. You got to get undressed, take off your work coat. In the morning, you're giving another extra hours, getting in there, and your travel time. You're giving a lot of your life to this. If you're giving a lot of your life, or you're giving a lot of your life to something that won't make you happy, you're giving a lot of time in your life to something that doesn't give you fulfillment. Think about that. Don't give your life to something that's not worthy of you. We do not give our lives to something that's unworthy of us. I just want you to think about that voice within. Don't listen to the negative voice. That negative part of you. Get rid of that fear. What are you scared of? I love Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was one of my greatest mentors. Steve Jobs said when he dropped out of college, he was scared. He said, but he looks back, that was the greatest thing happened, because then he took the time to pursue what was in his heart, what was in his instincts, what felt good, what he felt he should have been doing. If you want to follow your dreams, go out, let's start going to work. I'm not talking something I'm not living. Let me tell you something. Some things are finna happen. You all are on the journey with me with Qiyam Unlimited. This company, you're going to watch it build from the bottom all the way up. From a small company to whatever happens. Everything I tell you, I'm walking through right now. So I'm telling you, chase your dreams and run faster. I think P. Diddy said, if you're chasing your dreams, you ain't running fast enough. This is about building. But don't listen to nothing that's telling you don't do what your heart is telling you to do. Don't do what you love doing. If you're doing something for 8 hours a day and you're miserable doing it, That ain't life. You think you was born just to work and pay bills? That's what God created us for? Just to work and pay bills and figure out a way to make daily income? Is that our existence? Is that winning? I want you to think about something and in it. I watched a movie the other day. And in this movie, a man got to go back in time and talk to himself. And we always say, if I could go back to my life and talk to myself when I was younger, if I could go back and talk to myself when I was 20, what would I tell myself? Would I say I should have went to school more? I should have done more of this so I'd be more successful right now? Would I have said you should have done this and should have done this? Well, all of us can figure some things we wish we had done better and we would have told ourselves to do to make our life better. Well, let's go to the future. This is what I want you to do. I want you to imagine yourself 20 years from now. What are you going to say to yourself of what you wish you had done today 20 years from now? Will you be mad and look at yourself 20 years from now at what you was doing today and say you wasted time then when you could have been doing A, B, C, and D and we could have been here right now? 20 years from now, will you be talking, telling yourself, look at yourself ahead and have a conversation with yourself about what you're doing with your time and where you would be at in 20 years? That's what we got to understand. I looked at myself and I said, Jason, what would I be saying to myself 20 years from now? Think about that. That's real.
You have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself. That's necessary. That's necessary.
Have a wonderful day. God bless you. Qiyam Unlimited.